Hi, I'm Chris Polino. I'm the Fire Prevention Officer for South Dundas Fire and Emergency Services.
Hi, I'm Matt Healy. I'm also a firefighter here at South Dundas Fire Emergency Services. Today we're going to talk about SCBA bottles and how we fill them into our cascade systems. We're going to talk about PPE. We're also going to talk about all our safety precautions when dealing with our filling of our SCBA bottles. So we're going to start with our PPE. We're going to have three parts of PPE. First, we're going to have our hearing protection, our eye protection, and we're also going to have glove protection for grip. So hearing protection, we're going to have on at all times. It's very loud in there when the compressor is working. We want to make sure that we're going to have capable hearing protection. Eye protection also at the same time. Lots of fittings in there. We don't want to get any debris or anything in our eyes. We're also going to be wearing our gloves, make sure that we have a good grip on our SCBA bottles. We're going to run our hands over the bottles, making sure that there's no cuts and debris on them, and make sure we don't cut ourselves at the same time. All right, guys, just a little housekeeping tip. We're just going to make sure the door is open at all times. It just optimizes airflow throughout the room. So first thing what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to come into our compressor room is we're going to turn on our fan. We're going to set it for 2 hours. All it does is just make the room air circulate better. Okay, so first thing here is our charge station, guys. This is where we will fill up our SCBA bottles from. Second over, as we look to the other side of the room, this is our compressor. This is where we compress air and fill the bottles from. And our third station is our bottle storage. All right, guys, as soon as we get our cylinders, what we're gonna check first is run our hand over the bottle. We're just gonna look for any nets, dents, anything like that. We're going to check our neck, make sure there's no kind of cracks or anything in there as well. We're going to check our hydrostatic test date on our sign here every 5 years. We're going to check our gauge, make sure that it's full and or reading correctly. Lastly, we're going to give it a quick spray, just like so, making sure there's no debris getting into our fill system. Alright guys, we're going to talk about how we just do our normal presentation and how we usually get things done filling bottles. So as Chris has brought 2 empty bottles into our room, he's now turning on the fan for 2 hours. After he's done that, he's going to grab his empty bottles and check over his 3 stages. He's going to check his hydrostatic test date. He's also going to check over the surface of the bottle, and he's going to check his gauges, and he's going to give it a little breath of air, making sure there's no debris on the inside of the bottle. Moving towards the fill station, he's going to put on all his correct PPE, gloves, hearing equipment, and eye protection. So now Chris is filling up the bottle on his fill station. He's going to loosen his 2 fill ports, and he's going to put 2 SCBA bottles in those ports. He is also making sure that his relief gauge here is on tight and securely. He's going to put both bottles on hand tight and making sure that both SCBA bottles are in the closed position, fully to the right. He's going to put his second bottle on, as you see, in the same way, hand tight onto the fill station and making sure his SCBA bottle is fully closed to the right. Now that he's done that, he's going to fully close his bleeding, which is to the right. Now he's going to open his SCBA bottles to the left, fully open. He is now done so. He is now going to check to make sure his regulator is at 4,500. Perfect, it's in the upright position. Now he is going to make sure that his fill control is working, turning it to the left, balancing his bottles. Now he's going to turn his locking position, fill station all the way around, so you hear that click. Now pulling his lever down into the locking position. You can see in the locking position, yellow all the way around the doors. That's confirming you're in a locked position. Your SCBA bottles are now filling. As we're filling, we're going to hear a lot of noises. All it is the compressed air from our cascade system that we have in storage putting into our fill station. The compressor has not turned on yet, which is a good thing, because that knows that our cascade system is working correctly. Now that our bottles are full, Chris is now going to turn off his regulator, pulling it tight to the right position and unlocking his fill station. He's now going to turn his doors fully open. That excess air we have just bled out from the compressor. We are now safe to close his SCBA bottles fully right into a fully closed position. He is now going to take his bleeder and turn it left. Bleed the residual air in the lines, making it available to open the SCBA bottles and take them off the fill station. Helpful tip, make sure that your bleed is always fully bled. It is almost impossible to take an SCBA bottle off when there's air in the system still. Chris is now taking the empty bottles, or now full bottles, and putting them into the bottle fill station. Now that we've done that, Chris is now going to put his ports back on the fill station just for the next operating firefighter to come in and fill bottles, keeping his ports safe from debris and any other problems that can come up. Other than that, this is how we fill bottles safely at the South Dundas Emergency Services.
So once we've filled the bottles up, we need to see the number on the bottle and then come over to the book that's on top of the compressor, find the appropriate station number that it applies to, go into the book, and you're gonna write in the air tank number, the date that you just filled it, and your initials.
Alright guys, just another helpful tip, especially when we're going to park here guys for fires and anything like that, especially long periods of time. What we want to do is just shut our cars off. The exhaust pipes that we see up here, the black one, is just bringing in air and just going right into our compressor. So just a friendly reminder, just shut off our cars. The exhaust from in there is just going right into our air. Thanks guys.
Okay everybody, I hope you got something from this video.
Thanks for watching guys. Stay safe out there. Any questions, please let us know.